This one is called Study. Smoking marijuana not linked with lung damage. Thank God. Marijuana smokers perform better on tests of lung function compared to non-smokers and cigarette smokers. That alone, this is written on January 10th, 2012. That alone would tell me that it may even increase lung function. Let's see here. Marijuana does not impair lung function, at least not in the doses inhaled by the majority of users. According to the largest and longest study ever to consider the issue, which was published today in the Journal of the American Medical Association. If you haven't looked that up, I would urge you to look it up if you're still interested in this topic and find out more information on it. Researchers working on a long-term study of risk factors of cardiovascular disease, the coronary artery risk development in young adults, or cardia study, tested the lung function of 5,115 young adults over the course of 20 years starting in 1985 when they were aged 18 to 30. They found that marijuana use was almost as common as cigarette smoking in the sample, which was designed to reflect the U.S. population. Here's how I see this. Look out there at the people that you see smoking cigarettes in your community. Now assume for every one person that you see smoking in your community a cigarette, that there is an equal person out there that smokes pot. Keep that in mind. If not, maybe more or a little less. A little more or a little less, excuse me, than the amount of smokers out there. And this right here is reflected upon the U.S. population, that being 312 million people. So just divide that number in half and do the math for yourself. These people are out there smoking, and they're doing it behind the government's back, or right in the government's faces according to some laws they're protected by. And the government is not taking, it's taking the side of not letting us have the freedom that we truly deserve by letting us ultimately decide whether we want to do it or not. Anyways, among participants, the average marijuana user toked 2 to 3 times a month, while the average tobacco user smoked 8 cigarettes a day. Okay, that is just ridiculous. I am one that is anti-cigarettes. I will never stand for tobacco, ever. If you ever see my videos and you don't like this fact, feel free to unsubscribe, feel free to not comment, feel free to do any of your rights that I have given to you in the opposite way. You don't have to view my videos, but I am one against cigarettes, and I will always stand for that, and I will never change my mind. Those who smoked both tended to do slightly more frequently than those who smoked only cigarettes or only marijuana. So those who smoke out there tend to smoke marijuana more, is basically what that's saying. The study was well conducted, quote, as is, quote, essentially confirmatory of the findings from several previous studies that have examined the association between marijuana smoking and lung function. Says Dr. Donald Tashkin, professor of medicine at UCLA and a leading scientist in the area. He was not associated with the new research. Let's keep going. The major strengths of his study are that it included a far larger number of subjects followed for longer than any of these previous studies, he adds. I'm going to stop and restart because my video camera recording this has problems with sound quality.